Today we have this topic: boosting your productivity with ZK AI tool. Next one. Okay. So today we will introduce you about two tools. One is both tools can boost your productivities. The first tool is about this one is the MCP server. Okay, let me enable annotation. Okay, it's this one. This is MCP server. So it gives you like some hints and knowledges based on accurate ZK knowledges. I assume you know what is MCP server. But if you don't know that, just let me know. I will maybe give you a very short introduction. But I think it's very common now about MCP server. Open, you can quickly ask AI or Google. The second tool is a rule writer. This is the agent skill. Also is a part of you can use in your AI coding agent. You will generate rule files and also some controller code templates based on your UI prompt or your image. I will show you with some demos and also have some give you. We have quick Q&A times. Okay. Next. Okay, let's clear it. Okay, so I think most of you, when you writing ZK-based application, you usually know, okay, I know ZK can do this, can do that, but usually you might forget or not sure what is the actual API or what's the actual code. So you might want to search ZK docs, but maybe you are not familiar with which term you should search. But usually by traditional keyword mapping, when you search in our document, yeah, if you don't here, you have to know the actual keyword because you know it's a window, or if you know there's a signature component signature, then you will find it. But if you don't know the exactly keywords, you might, for example, if you don't know what is ROD, you might not search for the correct term, and you might not search for the correct page you want. So that could be a problem. And second one, sometimes when you use AI coding agents, it might hallucinate some component names and attributes because, yeah, that's the AI problems, because he might create some ZK components or ZK attribute that actually doesn't exist. Or there might be a problem is when you're writing raw controller, every time it seems a little bit similar. For every time you write one page, for second page, for third page, there's always something repetitive. So we want to create this kind of tool to help you to eliminate this. So first we introduce the MCP server. For everyone, someone may know or someone may don't know, you can quickly do a search. You got understanding. But you can think MCP server is like a USB port for AI, because AI usually can just generate some text based on his knowledge, his training data, but he cannot access the outside world or access the some kind of some other operation. He need to rely on MCP server. For example, if you want to read some PowerPoint file, or for example, he want to use some kind of GitHub repository, he cannot. So this kind of MCP server is, many people implement their own MCP server to perform some special operations. So without MCP server, AI can just answer ZK question from his training data. Could be updates, could be wrong. Yeah. And second one, with the MCP server, he can query our live ZK documentations and tell you the exact page. So it's basically like this. AI developer, you can interact with your AI coding agent, no matter it's Cloud Code, it's Germany CLI, or anything else. I think most of the AI tool, coding agents, they support MCP server now. So it communicate with the MCP server with the MCP protocol, but you don't need to know this. You just need to know how to configure it. And based on this, our ZK-DOC MCP server, he will just clone because now all our ZK document, you can see it's on the GitHub. If you can see here, there's a GitHub repository, so you can even clone it in your side. But this MCP server, he will clone for you, clone the whole CV and do indexing with a vector stored in the vector database, and then it will search for you with semantic search, not just keyword mapping. Okay, so he used kind of a vector DB like we call Chroma. It's invented by someone else, but we just do some kind of chunking with every page and then store them in this kind of DB, and you will index it. And if there's any update from the GitHub repository, you will also update from the repository and then reindex again. Okay, so you work with this kind of, we made it as an MCP server. I think most of all, every AI coding agent support MCP server. So you can configure and set up this MCP server for whatever AI coding agent you use. Okay. And he supports semantic search because of the vector DB's characteristics. So you don't need to search exactly the same word. For example, you can search some lazy loading or load data lazily, just describe your requirement in natural language, and it will find something similar for you, like a render on demand ROD for you. So, and these MCP servers now support 3 operations, or in AI's terminology, we call tools. There are 3 tools. The first is the main tool, search ZK doc. Second is submit feedback. Third is show chat setting. Okay, sorry. And currently just 2 steps to install. One is using UV because it's made by Python. So you just copy this. First, you need to install UV, but I think everybody, if you know Python a little bit, just install it. UV, it's create a runtime environment for you and also manage the Python version, runtime version for you. So just install UV and just type this to install the DKDoc MCP server. And the second step, you can just directly, if you use Cloud Code, I think every AI coding engine has a little bit different to add the MCP server, but they are all quite simple, usually just 1 step, or just modify some settings. So you can query, check their documentation. Here, today, I just demonstrate with Cloud Code, which is, I think, the most powerful now. So it's very easy, just 2 steps, but this is optional step. You can also do it because it's the first step. The first time you use the server, it will take some time to index because it takes maybe 3 minutes. So before you start to use Cloud Code, start to use AI, it's better to do this kind of init. But if you don't do, that's fine. When you start MCP server, it will take a little bit longer, maybe 3 minutes to actually start at the first time. So if you don't want these to wait, you can just do the initial pre-indexing first. Just do it 1 time because the first time will take longer because it tries to index all the page at the first. So initial time will be long. But after that, you just update. After the first init, you just updated several pages. So the indexing time will be short. Okay, so it's very short. For example, or if you use Germany CLI, just modify this setting. Just check the document. It's very easy. Okay, so here we have the 3 tools you can just invoke in your after installed. This is a semantic search is search ZK-doc, and second one is submit feedback. That means if you search something and it doesn't fit your requirement, or you think, okay, this is a bad answer, you can submit feedback to us. You will create a GitHub issue automatically. Use in your AI, you will send a request to that, and then we will review that and try to improve the documentation. The third one is to show some setting, because the server also has some detail setting, but normally default setting can work. But if there's something you have special requirement, you can check the setting for detail. Okay. So we can give you some demonstration. Okay, for example, let's check our here. Here is my IntelliJ. I already run the cloud code here. You can see. I think I should correct screen, right? Okay. Okay, so this is cloud code, and this is the, for example, there's a writer showcase project. We use this project as example projects. So after install, I already installed. So to save the time, so we skip this install steps, but it's quite easy. So usually in your, no matter in Germany CLI or Cloud Code, there's always a command to show MCP server. So you can see we have already have several MCP server. Okay, one is this ZK-doc MCP server. So if you check inside, you can see there are several tools like a search ZK-doc, show settings, submit feedback. Okay, so you know there are 3 tools here. Okay. So to sure it's easy, you can just say search ZK-doc, like what's the command, something like this, and a notation, and then he will give you some answers. He will search the ZK-doc, so you can see what happened here. Okay, he used this tool, MCP. So you can see, oh, why? Oh, sorry. I don't know why he just answered me with Chinese. Okay, just tell me answer in English. Maybe my last setting is Chinese. Okay, sorry. So no matter you use any language, so if you don't use English, yeah, it's okay. You can tell AI to answer you. But here you can see ZK-docs, he will use the search ZK-doc MCP server to query some question, and he will give you something. So, okay, and he do something after he found, he will say, okay, command notation here, blah, blah, blah. He give you some knowledge of how to use it. Okay, so yeah, this is a key point, and he also give you something. So this answer is based on not just based on the ZK's, not just based on the AI's training knowledge. It's based on our documentation. Okay, so in documentation, he will give you the answer. So it's better, it's more accurate because it's totally based on our ZK-doc. You can also show me the doc path. Yeah. So he can show you that there is a document. He cloned these documents, and he cloned these documents in this path under this. So you can also tell me when you. So you can see. He will tell you, okay, this document is specified in this. So after he query this, he give you some answers. If you have still have some doubts, or you can check the original source here, view model command MD. So this is the original page that he checked from the from the repository and clone it from here. So here is his summary answer. If you want something more complete, you can go to this page and check the complete page, or you can just go to our server. This MVVN syntax view model. You can also go to our actual official page here, like MVVN. You will know there is a syntax here, and there's a command. So that's false. You can do it. So you can ask something, and ZK will show you some knowledge. You can quickly get an accurate answer, and you can get the source file. And yeah, that's what the ZK's document MCP server can give you. So you can search anything that's in the in this document. For example, let's clear it. Search ZK doc. For example, data, anything, any attribute to make a pop-up rollable something. So he will give you some introduction. Okay, this is quite less known, but maybe you remember something roughly, but you don't know. You just remember something. Maybe there's such features, and you're not sure, but you can just query it, and you can check, and it will tell you the doc path here, because the result, actually the query result, will contain the document path. So you can check the quick answer and also check the original page. Okay, so this is how you can use the MCP server. Okay, so this is the answer is now. The main benefit is the AI now, it just not answer by its own knowledge. It will answer by the actual document. So we will keep improving our document. Or if you have problems, we will just tell us, we will keep improving document, and then actually just increasing the AI's knowledges. And also second benefit is you just search by semantic search. It's not just mapping the keyword, because it's search by vector. You will search by word similarities. So yeah, you can ask question in your natural language, and we will keep improving our documentation to increase to add some description of the problem, not just the answer. I mean, usually you will ask some questions from problem domain. You describe words with problem domains, and then but usually the documentation contains the words from the solution domain, which is the terminology in ZK. So now we will keep improving our documentation to describe the problems, and so that when you search, you might when you describe it, you might search the related document. And you don't need a new UI. No matter which kind of AI tool you use, just use it. Keep using it. If you are familiar with Germany CLI, that's fine. You just keep using it with the MCP server. Okay. So if you find something wrong, you can just also submit a feedback to us. And yeah, we will try to improve the document and push to the GitHub. And then you will when you next time you start up the MCP server, you will try to get the latest document from our GitHub repository and update itself, and then so it will get the latest knowledges. Okay, so this is MCP server, and the next one is about the rule writer. It will speed up your rule writing. Because yeah, every time when you try to writing rule, it usually involve the same similar steps. For example, like it will create a rule file, it will choose some layout, and you will wire some components if you use composer, or you are binding you are binding some components or some event to view model, something like this, and you might fix your 𝗁 if you do something wrong, and you will repeat every page for this process. Okay, so that could be at the beginning or something similar when writing the rule. Yeah. After that, you will start implement application logic. That's not relevant for ZK, but at the first stage, first phase, there's a similarities. So ZK, this rule writer can quickly provide you a scaffold, especially if you are ZK beginners. So it's very easy to install. Just use Node.js. Okay, so for example, this is how you install the agent skill. So using this kind of tool, you can install, for example, let's try it, just give you an overview. Well, I already installed it, but now you can just, I'll just show you how to install, but actually I already installed it. So for example, you type this command in your command line, you will say, okay, you still need to update. This is rely on a kind of a open agent skill ecosystem. It's called skills. So it's kind of npm is a Node.js program. So when you start this this program, he will check this repository and you will find there's a skill to rule writer, and it will give you some short description. So this installation way it supports 43 agents. So you can see almost all the agents support. So now you can see no matter which agent you use, by default you don't need to select. These agents are already support. So if you are using Germany, then you don't need to select anything. Just keep install next step, and it will install this agent for you. So if you're using Cloud Code, like this one, you need to, like me, you need to select the Cloud Code, or if you use other, you can select others. And then when you select, you can just click enter. You can choose to project or global. And next, for example, if it's global, and you can choose to symlink. The symlink is like a pointer. It's in, I think it's in Mac. Maybe Windows also have symlink. I'm not sure. But the symlink means it doesn't really clone. It clone to a central place and create a symlink for if you install for a project, then it doesn't clone the agent skill to the project. It clone to another place and create a symlink pointer to that project, to that folder, to that agent skill folder. So this is usually the recommend. If you copy the agent skill to your project folder, then next time if you switch to another project, then you need to copy again. So it's not very recommend, because in the future, the skill might need to update. So next slide, if you see, actually this agent skill is just a GitHub repository with the specific format. So you can see this is the rule writer skill. I won't introduce the whole skill format. You can check any document, but just like this, we have a skill like this. It's an introduction of the skill, and it also have some assets to have some reference how to tell this skill how to convert UI prompt or image to UI to 𝗁. So it contains the process how to process a text or image into a 𝗁, and this we can update in the future. So after you install it, you can use this update. Then we'll check if there's anything new from the GitHub. If there's, it will just update the agent skill. Every time we update our agent skill, you can get update. So it's quite easy to install it. Okay. Okay, let's go back to slide. So after you install it, you just follow here its guide and everything in your agents. Okay, so let's give you some demo. For example, here we have our 𝗤𝗏𝗿 showcase. It's also a project under this repository. You can see this repository, which it contains the 𝗤𝗏𝗿 itself. This is this agent skill itself, and this is the showcase. This is a project to show the result that is generated by 𝗤𝗏𝗿. So all these 𝗤 here, you can see is generated by 𝗤𝗏𝗿. It's also our kind of demo project or test project. This Java is also generated by the 𝗤𝗏𝗿. Okay, so we will use this as a demo, but now we just delete it because I hope that we can start from nothing to show the how the 𝗤𝗏𝗿 work. Okay, let's clear it. Okay, so first we can use the text. So there's some text I think here. For example, personal profile info, like this. Okay, so the first demo we just use the text. Okay, so we copy text. This is first case. We describe what I want in the in text. So first in Cloud Code, there's a slash command. It's 𝗤𝗏𝗿. You can see, just tab and then just give it what I want. To just describe in text and just press the enter, and you will start to read this text. Oh, sorry, why start with? It seems it's okay. Sorry, I need to interrupt it. I'm not sure why it's used. Why use? I guess maybe it's kind of something her cloud. I guess maybe something I configure it wrong in language, so it shows the Chinese. Sorry, let me configure it to change to English. Let's start another session. Okay, then the first demo is like this. You just type 𝗤𝗏𝗿. In different AI coding engine, it might have a different usage. For example, like Germany CLI, it doesn't have this kind of slash command, but you just tell him use 𝗤-writer, something like this. Then the AI can understand. Then just write down your requirement like this, and then he will start to doing like this. Then it will try to generate this 𝗤 file based on its workflow. First, you will try to sorry, some ZK9, but okay. Usually it would detect the ZK version, but now somehow it doesn't detect it very well. So we assume I'm ZK9, but actually I'm ZK10. Maybe I should remove this. Okay. So it should detect with my palm. So there's something wrong, but it's fine. Okay. So the steps 3, you will try to validate it generated, because sometimes the ZK when AI generated rules sometimes with some problems. Just like I say, it has some hallucinated problems. So I don't. We need to validate the result. It's not always to trust him. So there's a validation process in the step 3, and you will use a kind of a Python script, a simple script to validate these rules. And you will install, if you are missing some module like this, yeah, you will install LXML to install uh, the required module and perform the validation. And if there is something wrong, that will fix the rule. So this is the rule he generated. You can see most cases it's fine, but sometimes you will still have some minor problems, but it will be catched by these validations. So you can see here, you will try to run this validate rule .py to do a quick validation. The validation will do 3 steps, 3 layer. So let's check the agent, how he specifies. Yeah, AI also have some indeterminate the behavior. So we need to fine tune every time, but in most cases here, there are 4 layers of validation here. The first is to validate its real well format XML. The second is the XSD format. It's based on 𝗲𝗲𝗃𝗃. We have a 𝗲𝗃𝗃 here in the assets here. So we will validate if it's you write is a real, there's a real component, a real attributes. You also have some checking based on the some based on XSD. Also have something like some checkings that attribute, because there are some special case. So we'll perform some checking. And also layer 410, because in ZK10 and ZK9 there is a big change in compatibility change. So there are some attribute was removed in ZK10. So if you use ZK10, we'll perform an extra checking in ZK10 to make sure you don't use any deprecate or remove the attribute. Okay, so okay, so I don't know why this time takes so long to install. Okay, now the step 3, all 4 validation layer passed. I mean, okay, the generated is the rule is correct. Then you will start to generate this sample controller for you. Usually you will sometimes the current pattern is MVVM, so we use MVVM, but you can specify, say, oh, I want to use MVC or MVVM. That's fine. So, but now he already generate for us, also view model for us, so we can compile it. Okay. Before, okay. So we can start and visit this page, and hopefully it works. Okay, so you can see this personal profile here, mostly as described like what I say. So I confirm. So this is, yeah, I generate these this personal profile for us. And because it's ZK9, so he know, okay, he put it under ZK9 user profile. Okay, so this is the first use case. The next, we can try to use another like a image here. For example, this is a bank reconciliation dashboard. Okay, maybe make it larger. So this is a screenshot, not made by ZK. It's actually made by Google Stitch. Google Stitch. Okay, this is also kind of an AI platform. You can describe what you want here, and where's my previous? Okay, you can see. I try many things. So you can describe with text, and it will generate some page, some fake page for you. Not fake, just a simulated page for you. Okay, so this is what you can, but it's just images. So I generate this here, and it generates an image. I can export it as an image, and I put it in my local. So now I can let my 𝗁𝗏𝗍 to read this image and generate based on to a 𝗁 file. So the usage is very similar, like for example, where is my okay, 𝗁𝗏𝗍, and we can, for example, we specify the file like a bank reconciliation image, and we say MVC DK10. Okay. So we start to first we will do some visualization analysis, and you can see visual analysis by reading screenshot and reference file. Let's start again. So it's try to read some sample file because we specify MVC, so we will try to read some my composer, which is a template of a composer, and start to create some code. But first, we'll try to create some 𝗁 first, because in this agent scale, basically we describe a process. Okay, there's a visual analysis, and the step one actually clarify user requirements. So most cases, if you don't specify the DK version, he should ask you, or he can detect from your POM. But somehow, sometimes I don't know. Yeah, we need to test again. Somehow, sometimes the agent doesn't ask because he felt he already know. And second step is generate a 𝗁 file, and third step you will validate the 𝗁, and the fourth step will generate controller classes. So this is the basic four steps that will generate. It's performed by this 𝗁𝗏𝗍. So here, yeah, first you will do some visual analysis to understand what kind of element of this page. Okay, and then you will try to create the 𝗁. It seems today is a little bit slow. Okay, then let's go back. Let's give it some time. Okay, so you can see this text 𝗁. This is our first case. You can write some text and like this, create something, and in some patterns, then he will give you some 𝗁 file. And next, the next is what we are demonstrating now is he give you some kind of image, then also tell him that okay, just provide with the add side to let him read this image screenshot, and he will perform these workflows, and then he will generate the 𝗁. Okay, so later we'll give you something. Actually, these screenshot is all my test case. Okay, so he will actually, if you check out these projects and GitHub, you can see there are many rules that generate based on these screenshots. Okay, so yeah, it seems it takes a long time today. Okay, so if you want to generate some complex UI, yeah, you can just give in a screenshot, because sometimes, yeah, if you describe in text, it's not so precise. Okay, so you can generate, no matter you generate by Figma or generate by someone just drawing in any screenshot, drawing by any photo, any screen, photo editor or anything, even in your hand. I think you can do some visual analysis to identify which kind of component in map to. We rely on AI's visual analysis. You can read this image. So actually, we know we give him some instructions to let him to map from ZK from your screen elements to ZK components. If there's no mapping, for example, there's a special component that ZK doesn't have, that will you will use fallback strategy, which is use HTML div or span to compose that with CSS to compose that similar UI. Okay. So the dual writer is what you can get is eliminate this kind of similar process. It can quickly give you some rule based on your screenshot or text, and if you also give you some basic controller quickly, like a template, so you can just start to implement business logic, and you can, no matter it's MVC or MVVM pattern, is support, and it also validate for you. We will keep improving this. Maybe there's some corner case that still not be catched, but we will improving this XSD to catch most of the error attribute or error component names. And so yeah, you can also input an image, because yeah, sometimes you cannot describe a UI with the text, but it can quickly give you a starting point, give you a scaffold rule and code. Okay, so in the later, maybe I hope I can show you. Actually, you can combine these two tools. For example, you can first start with an image and call rule writer to generate the rule and the controller class. Then later you can check with ZK DOC MCP server to tell him, okay, please implement something, but I'm not sure what's the API. You can ask AI to query to search some related document and start to implementing. So if it's if you think this API or this feature is quite less known, or maybe AI first implement something wrong, you can ask him to check the document before implementing. Then it will give you more accurate result. Okay, so we can actually combine these two tools, this rule writer and ZK-DOC MCP server. Okay. Okay, let's check 𝗂𝗏𝗏 research ones. Okay, let's see. I think it's already done. Okay, it's a summary constellation. Okay, let's build it. Okay, so you can see he also give you some summary, also give you some, okay, this is not what I tell him, but he give you some, okay, ZK10 bank reconciliation. You can see, well, lots of file. Let's check it. Okay, so yeah, there it's roughly same, but yeah, you can see there are some something might be a little bit wrong, but roughly look the same because we don't have the same icon or images, so we just use alternative. Some there are a little bit sizing issue. If we check our bank reconciliation here, you can see, oh, I think this one is a something problem. Yeah, okay, but okay. But basically, you can see follow the instruction, but the data seems a little bit wrong. Yeah, so every time, because it's AI, we cannot always make it the same result. So sometimes I think most of the time it give you a better result, but sometimes a little bit not very like this one. It seems there's something wrong in his style, so he has data, but it doesn't show it. Okay, so this is every time a little bit different, but actually you can see he will give you a controller and he will wire every components for you, so you don't need to write this code by your hand. Give you quickly a scaffolding here, and you also register some event handler here. Unclick here. You can see unchange here. So you perform some fake logic here, fake data here. That's what we tell him, to provide something fake to make this screen look at least not empty. So this is just fake, but it will make it look like the mock image. So okay, so this is the you can see at least it can give you quickly a result. So you can see if there is something, there's no ZK equivalent components, then you will use the namespace native HTML to implement something similar. That's what he do. So you can see there is some native component here, also ZK component here. So this is what he creates. So we can also show you more pages. We just make our pages back, like a showcase agent skill, because I just delete all those cases. Oh, sorry. I think we just demo this page, and after that, I just show you the whole process. So let's demo again. I hope it's cleared results. Your writer, for example, let's try again. Okay. Create a customer manager with something like this. Okay. So we will create a custom manager page with a search bar on top, a customer list using example here. So let's demonstrate how you can use both. So first, you can create this with the rule writer. And for example, maybe you don't know how to populate this customer data, then you can use this search document for example, if you create customer managed rule, then you will do something. You can tell AI, you can search this, and then you can implement after search the document. Okay, so that's you can combine these two tools. But if you want something in your customers, but in your projects, you have some custom rule. For example, here we create some sample custom rule like this because, for example, you don't want to create inline CSS. You can specify that like this. Then you can specify lots of rules. Your project specified rule, and when you give him this instruction, you can also add. Oh, we always show Chinese. Let's try again. So if you want something rule in your customer, for example, you can specify rule A. Yeah. Maybe I need to try again. Okay. Okay. No, not this one. Okay. So if you want him to follow your project specific rule, then when you generate this kind of UI, then you just specify your project specific rule here. So he will generate the rule and the UL file, and also follow your project specific rule like this. For example, my rule is don't use inline style, please use CSS class. So that's also a way to use it. Okay, so we just quickly compares. If you don't use this tool, then you just need to manually understand to search the doc. Then with AI tool, you can quickly accent with your natural language. And if you don't use the tool, you have to write it by hand. Then this rule can generate it and validate for you, and it will quickly generate some template controller or template rule file. And the MCP server, it can give you answer based on the real doc, not his knowledge, or doesn't create fake answer. Okay, so now the next step I see you can start in today, and 3 steps. Just install this in 5 minutes, it may be less, or install this agent skills in 2 minutes, and you can try. Next features, if you have some problems, yeah, please also can feedback to us. And if you have some problem, you would want to know some details, there's the documentation here. Okay, for example, oh, sorry. When you check developer reference, there's a section now we created. It's an AI assistant development. So there are 2 sections. One is DLC MCP server. It describes the detail here, how you can install it, how there are settings here. You can see there are lots of settings, but it's for special case. So, but usually the default works for you, and so we can check detail. Also the rule writer here, but actually because the rule writer we just published recently, so there's actually a small talk about this. You can check also detail and some introduction about these. So for example, this is the first time. The previous time I create called app tracker dashboard. This is the screenshot created from Stitch, Google Stitch, and this is the rule that created by rule writer. You can see it's quite similar, but there is some size issue that you need to do some fine tune. Yeah. So this is the last time. So every time you create with rule writer, will have some differences, because yeah, this is AI now. So screenshot for Stitch, this is another like a enterprise Kanban, and this is what ZK create, because the ZK's panel is look like this. So you can see there's a little difference, but yeah, you can see the general structure is the same. Since we don't have the image, so there's an image missing icon. Okay, so this is what you can use in rule writer. Okay, so yeah, it's final. So we cover these 2 tools. So you can use MCP server to give you AI accurate knowledge, and use rule writer to generate code for you. Okay, so you can use them together, and it's open and easy to install. Okay, now I will start a poll, so please give us some lunch. Give us some feedback. So please, there are just 5 questions. So if you have questions, you can type questions in your chat, and if you have time, please fill the poll for us. Then we can improve our framework. So someone asked, using STS develop ZK project, possible to interact with AI, cloud, or other. STS, I think it's Spring Tool Suite, right? I think it doesn't block you because now the cloud code and German CLI, no matter these kind of tool, it's a CLI tool. You can see it's a CLI tool. So if your IDE, usually most of IDE now have a terminal window, so you can run the cloud code inside this. For example, like this is IntelliJ, it's a terminal. Even your IDE doesn't have a terminal, you can also start a terminal here. For example, this is my terminal. Okay, so I can start Cloud Code here, and that's also fine. Yeah. So if you start, usually we will start the terminal under our project. For example, if there is a project in my workspace, there are many projects. So for example, there is a ZK. So you can switch to your project. For example, there's a agent scale project. In this project, maybe this my current project, I just start Cloud Code here. And now the Cloud Code can read all the file under this project. This is the default. Okay. So if you use Germinate, it's the same. You just start Germinate under this project. For example, Germinate under this project, and you can read and even write if you allot your project under this. Okay, this is Germany CLI, so you can also read your project. Okay, so that is the what you can use. So okay, now my last result is already generated. You can see he generate a customer management as well. So you can see here, he doesn't use inline style. He always use the CSS role, no, CSS class here, because what I already tell him the rule here. Please always use CSS class. Don't specify inline style. So here's the result. Yeah, I generated, and also create a view model here, so we can see the rule here. Okay, he created a customer management. There's a search bar here. Okay, so there's a search bar. You can at least search. You can see the search logic is ready. Okay, so I can clear it. So there's Bob. Okay, so this is okay. He's already implement this. So we can continue to, for example, there's a search bar, but if I want to, we can combine with it, search ZK to know, how to correct this web, to know. Okay, now I want to do the search while user typing. No, how to implement feature like this. Do the search. Okay, the search is typing. For here is customer management. Okay. So you will implement this feature before he will search the ZK-doc. You can see he searches ZK-doc, and then he will implement this feature. So sometimes that if you think that feature is because ZK exists for a long time. So actually every AI coding agent roughly knows ZK in most common cases. So if the feature is quite simple, you can just directly ask the AI coding agent to do it for you. Sometimes or most of the time it's good. The result is fine. Yeah, for example, just implement a CRUD case that I think it's fine. But if you think that the feature is quite less known or you might have some problems, and then you can tell him, okay, please please search the document. Okay, and then implement it. Okay, so now you can see it implemented, but there's a problem, something wrong in Java. So I guess maybe I didn't check it, but just, okay, I guess maybe there's something wrong. Ah, oh, search with value. Okay. I guess you should give the no. Okay. Let's check again. Oh, there's a syntax. Okay, so yeah, sometimes it doesn't work very well, so we will keep fine-tuning it. Uh, that's okay. What I kind of think this. Oh, there could be some syntax errors. Oh, could be there's a no this kind of command. Okay. Is there any questions there? Yeah, we think there sometimes there because the AI sometimes has the deterministic that, but in most cases, this is our first version. So we admit that there are sometimes there's some problems. But yeah, you can see most of the you can also check out the dual writer showcase. I think most of the case you can generate the the correct result, but yeah, sometimes AI doesn't do it very well. Okay, is there any question today about these sessions? And if you have time, please fill the poll, the survey. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining this time. Yeah, please fill the poll and or survey we can so that we can improve. Can we add this rules writing skill, or is it better to extend override it through custom skill or through rule only? Uh, yeah, we will keep updating the word writer, but if you see, I see that skill you prioritize ecom over native. We want to prioritize native when possible. Sure, yeah, you can fork these repositories if you think it's a better, but usually we also will update it. So at least um, at the beginning I think we will update frequently. So if you also update it, we also update it. Might have some conflict, so maybe it will be not easy for you to get our update. So I provide two strategy. First is I would suggest you uh, specify your project rules here with, for example, like this. You can specify your project rule like prefer using native HTML elements first, something like this, if you really need it. Yeah, but usually currently we already do it. For example, like if there is no corresponding ZK components, then we will fall back to use HTML. For example, like this case. Uh, if, for example, like there's a car like there was kind of footer, this kind of special text, then we don't have, then we will fall back. So first strategy, I would suggest using extra file to specify your project rule. That's the first strategy. But if it doesn't work, for example, if you try to override very core rules in agent skills, maybe you will fail, or maybe AI will still follow agent skill first and then uh, use this as a second order, because if it conflict agent skill, then I would suggest you can fork this project, this repository, and add. It's better to, for example, add an extra reference here, uh, an extra file, for example, extra rule, something like this here, and then and don't directly change the file. So next time when we upgrade, when we change here, we usually change the existing file. Then you can just easily merge our change into your this kind of old file, and you create another file called extra rules, so it will not be affected. So that's the two strategies I suggest. If you want to add your custom rule, it's better to create a new file and maybe add one line in scale or in something like here, UI to component mapping. This is the strategy to tell the how to map the UI to component. Maybe you add it here in here add one line, say, if you are some kind of conditional match, then please check, please follow the extra rule. That will be better to keep the minimal change on the existing file, so you can get our own update easily. Okay. 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 So this is in a very early stage here because yeah, all the AI tools now changing very frequently. Even I think every month, every 2 months, there's something new. So what we talk about now maybe will be invalid maybe several months later. But that's the current state. Welcome any feedback. So please, if you have time, please fill the survey or poll, then we can know you better. We can create or improve this rule, this kind of tool better. So please fill this this poll. And if you, so is there any questions? Okay, if you don't have any question, and if you doesn't have time to fill the survey or the poll, then thank you everyone. See you next time. I think please focus on our extra training. We will have new update next time. So thank you very much. Thank you for your join.